Ever since I read the Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black, I have been obsessed with fairies. And it is safe to say that this has become my new favorite trilogy or series or book. Yeah, just any book. Hello, I'm Rupal. How are you all? It's been a month since I finished reading the Folk of the Air trilogy. I read this whole series or trilogy fairly quickly because usually I take like a month to finish a book. But I think I finished this series in 3 weeks or maybe a month. So that's a personal record for me, and I loved it. I am obsessed with it. Ever since I finished reading it, I have been constantly thinking about it, thinking about its vibes and everything, I have been obsessed with fairies and fairyland and Tinkerbell. I actually watched the two Tinkerbell movies, the first one and the Never Beast Legend one, and I loved it. I loved the whole vibes. I have said this in my previous video that I think the movie Maleficent quite represents the aesthetic of this book, how it's like nocturnal and dark cottagecore with lots of mystical creatures and everything. So if you want to know the aesthetic of this book, then you should watch the movie Maleficent. I guess I'll give a brief on what this book is about. What is it about? Character development. I forgot the character's name. Taryn, Fifi, Jude. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you a gist about these books. This book is about Jude, a human living in fairyland or fairy amongst other fays, and is trying to build a place for herself because the fairies in these books are supposed to be cunning. They're supposed to be tricksters. They love pranking people. They are mean. They love hurting people, and these are supposed to be like traditional fairies, which is amazing. They also don't have wings, which is quite weird because I always thought fairies have wings, but I don't think they have wings in these books. But they are the traditional fairies, and our main character Jude is trying to find a place for herself. She's trying to convince the other fairies that she belongs in that world, and that is her journey. I gave the first two books, which is the Cruel Prince and the Queen of Nothing, 5 stars, but I gave the last book 4 stars just because of the ending. Throughout these 3 books, we get to see the family dynamics, we get to see politics. Everyone is trying to reach the throne, everyone is trying to become the queen or the king, and reading about that throughout the 3 books, the ending was just maybe 5 pages. The war that happened was just 5 pages. It could have been 10 pages more and I would have loved it, but because it was so underwhelming, I gave it 4 stars. But otherwise I love this. I love the world and everything. Everything is really nocturnal here. They go to sleep in the morning and then they wake up at, I guess, 12 p.m. or after 12 p.m. and they just live through the night. It is very nocturnal and the aesthetics are amazing. It is dark cottagecore, so if you love dark cottagecore, these books are for you. You should read these if you love politics, if you love family dynamics, if you love complex relationships between people, between sisters, between father and daughter, between love interest. Everything is just so complex and so interesting to read about. The book is mainly about the politics and family dynamics. It's not exactly romance heavy, so that's a good thing. That's what the book is about. These books revived my interest in young adult books. I stopped reading young adult books because the dialogues, the thoughts of the characters were quite immature and I did not like them. I did not enjoy them. It just constantly annoyed me. But the dialogues in these books were quite amazing to read about. All the characters were really mature and it did not feel as if they were just 17 or 18 years old. They felt quite older, and even the things they did, like the childish things they did, it was quite understandable because they were figuring out their world, they were figuring out their position in their world, and yeah, it was quite fun to read about. Ever since this book finished, it finished me, because I just have been looking for more books with these sort of vibes, but I can't find it. So if you have any recommendations, please give it to me, because I would love to get lost in this world again. One thing I absolutely loved about the characters in this book is that they are quite cunning, and our human character Jude, she also tries to be cunning, she also tries to be mean to those fairies, and it is quite lovely to read because we humans are quite powered with emotions, and to see her trying to fight her emotions and being as mean as the other fairies is just really lovely to read about. As I said, I have been obsessed with fairies. I made an Instagram account which I named Letters to a Fairy, the archaic version of fairy. It is a Tumblr text post account, and I link it in the description if you want to follow that. And if you have any recommendations for the dark cottagecore vibes, please give them to me. I would love to read those books. And yeah, this was my review, small review. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.